together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. It's still morning in Colorado. All right, that was shared. Sharing it to a couple of places that they might get seen by people who run all recovery meetings. So I'm trying to find a way to get my butt off of Facebook. Not all the way off. I'll still do this stuff, but I don't see any other reason for me to be on Facebook. You know, like everybody else, I tend to watch videos and things like that, but it's just a waste of time. And they're fake too. None of these videos are real. You know, sometimes I get good stuff out of it, though. I get more out of the reels, like people with quotes and things like that. I get more out of that. But then my reels are also filled with, OnlyFans and shit. Man, it's like everybody is trying to be popular. That's how it feels. And I don't get it. I do. I get it. We want to be understood. We want to, I want people to like me. Sure, I do. But I want them to like me for who I am. And I don't think that's too much to ask. Now, I know I can be a lot. I just hope that I'm worth it. It's really all I can do is hope that I'm worth it. And I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I think I'm a nice, fine Earl Grey myself, but hi Michelle. It's the Dion and Michelle show, which I think is great. So, well, as it say, 2 or 3 alcoholics gathered together as a meeting. Right? See, now there's 2 people here. God's here also. That's what makes it great, man. Naysayers. I've had a lot of really good things happen, and I've announced it, and like I announced it in a group chat, and not one person was like, "Yeah, right on." Instead, it was debatable questions, and I find that when I succeed in life, that's when I find out who my friends are. I don't even want to say that's who I find out who my friends are, because I'm still going to be friends with you. It's just that there's going to be a certain level of trust. I gauge things by action. I care less what you have to say. I'm listening, but I'm watching. Welcome to Daily Trudge. Hey, you two. Hey. I know you're bored. Quit picking on your brother. And to stop a little kitty cat argument. If you probably heard it. Meow, 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 meow. Why are you being such a dick today? All right. When kitty cats are bored, I could probably make a whole show on it. Maybe I should. Lots of things I could do. I put out the first big book thumping yesterday. I think we are at like 11, 12 downloads. So it worked. It worked, man. It was clear people needed it. I don't care if it was one person that downloaded it, then it was worth my time. I'm going to try and get to the doctor's opinion either today or this weekend. But I will try and be consistent on putting those out. I just saw a need, so let's cover the need. That's what we do. All right, we're here to talk about all recovery meetings. There seems to be, And I can only talk about all recovery meetings in Colorado, really. But really, what are we trying to do? What are we trying to say? You know, um, we say as an alcoholic, all my answers are in here. Okay. For an alcoholic. So is recovery the same for everybody, or are there multiple pathways to recovery? Why are we touting both? You got to pick one. You got to pick one. Either you're the alpha omega or you're not. What is an all recovery meeting? It's just a popularity. It's just a person bragging, being the center of attention. These are usually narcissists. I'm going to tell you what they actually are, and I'll tell you at least the ones in Colorado. When I was a recovery coach and I was working with some of them, I had this idea, and I said, why don't we have these all recovery meetings? I even came up with that name. I'm sure I'm not the only person with original ideas, so it's not like the whole thing came because I said it. I don't want you to think that, because it didn't. I said, but what we will tell people is we are a bunch of recovery coaches that are willing to help. Okay. Then when we get there, they get that hour with us. But if they want more, then we'll have to use their Medicaid or whatever. It was very intentional. It was very transparent. But these people just want to fuck around with everything. What is an all recovery meeting? I don't know. Because I don't go to them. Because recovery is not the fucking same for everybody. There are multiple pathways. So are we all recovery, or are we multiple pathways? See, when everybody gets everything, nobody gets anything. So quit taking it all. Okay? It's kind of, yeah, people are probably not going to like me because of this, but I don't give a fuck. Okay? This all started way back. I'm tired of hearing, I don't want men and women's sports. Well, you know what? You took our boys you took our boys club. The boys club at Denver 20 years ago was changed to the Boys and Girls Club. Was the girls club changed to the Girls and Boys Club? No, they still got their own. But there's this systematic thing that is going on where you're taking everything from men right now, and they're pushing back. The Boy Scouts belong to boys for a reason. We kick the crap out of each other. This is where we get hardened up, is in Boy Scouts. And boys need to learn certain things. There's a respect thing. So you invaded it. Did the Girl Scouts turn to the Girls and Boy Scouts? No. So why didn't the Girl Scouts just go camping themselves? Why do we have to invade everybody else's shit? Get out of it. Men do not belong in women's sports. Come on, man. And if you think you're due, Jesus. Look how high I can jump. Look at me. Okay. And then we all jump on it so that the government can distract us so that you don't know what the left hand's doing. Welcome to an all recovery meeting. These people don't care. They want your money. They want your money. How am I? Let's do this. How am I going to help a sex addict? Tell me how I'm going to be able to help a sex addict. I have no fucking clue. I don't even like talking about sex in AA. So what am I doing? I'm certainly not placing myself where I'm in the maximum service to God and the world around me. You got to stay in your fucking lane. And when you start to deviate from your lane, you will affect other people in a bad way. Whether you think it or not, it's happening. And you won't get away with it. You won't get away with it. I'm tired of people not checking their intentions and then other people just jumping on these fucking bandwagons because the people look pretty. Okay? These people are also hiding behind a filter. Yeah. I hate to say it, but if you take a picture of yourself saying you're living your best life and you put a filter on it, you're full of shit. You're lying. You lied because that's not you. That's not you. Heck, I come on here when I'm 53. I'll have a zit on the side of my face. I don't try and cover it up. Well, I mean, do I look like I'm here for prettiness? Why? No. So there's choices to be made. Okay. An all recovery meeting is usually just a bunch of recovery coaches trying to trick you into giving their Medicaid number when they could have just been transparent and said, we're a bunch of recovery coaches and we'd like to see if we can help you. Okay. If I can't help you, then what I'd like to do is find somebody that can. Yeah. Absolutely, Michelle. I don't need your drama. I don't need your bullshit. I don't need your lying. I don't need the fake. I don't need it. I already lived that life. Okay. An all recovery meeting does not equal diversity. It does not equal equality. It equals greed. I mean, some of the names that these people come up with. Okay. I'll give you a great example. Fuck fentanyl, which I have no problem with. Okay. But if you wear a fuck fentanyl shirt, that means one of two things. Either you lost somebody very close to you to fentanyl, or you're a recovered fentanyl user. Beyond that, you shouldn't even be fucking wearing that shirt. Doesn't belong to you. Okay? There's a bunch of people jumping on the fentanyl bandwagon that are alcoholic. I'm going to tell you something. An alcoholic does not understand it. As much as we could try, you ain't going to get it. As an alcoholic, I was born with something. Okay? And when we start to bring it all together and make it all inclusive, it's not what you think it is. That's a trick. They will always want something. I guarantee you. Okay? You're going to go to those meetings and suddenly you're going to have a bunch of contacts. Oh, join us over here, join us over there. And then they're going to turn you into something that you are not. And you're going to fall for it because in the beginning, you're easily manipulated. I know this. In the beginning, you're easily manipulated. You have the gift of desperation. If you're not with the right person, it can get pretty fucking scary pretty fucking fast. When I hear somebody say, all recovery meeting, what I hear is, I want you to rely on me. No. You're a human being, and you can forget that. That ain't going to happen. I'm not going to rely on your humanness. You know, I'm just I'm tired of the deceit and the lying. You know, all recovery means multiple pathways. They normally talk about recovery and it's not a specific pathway. Okay. But if it means they're saying all recovery, which means it's all together. And so I feel like they're talking out of the side of their head, because that means that in that group, I'm going to need a recovery coach or people that is a recovered sex addict. I'm going to need a recovered drug and alcohol person. I'm going to need a recovered overeaters. I'm going to need a recovered. No, recovery is not the same for everybody. It's different pathways. Absolutely. I believe in different pathways. There's a lot of different ways. Okay. There's about 5 of them. There isn't just because there's a new thing out doesn't mean it's really a pathway. Okay. Now, I'm not knocking all recovery meetings. I'm just questioning it because I see who's running them also. What's the actual intention behind this? Do they pass the seventh tradition basket? Is the group itself self-supporting, or I don't know, Michelle. No, I think it does change according to the addiction. I think it does change a little bit, but for the most part, I think they stick together. That is an educated guess only. I don't know. I would have to find that out. But it probably, because it can change. Can you speak to a person about recovery and not tie it to the 12 steps? It depends. It depends. I'm probably not going to. No. It's the number one way. I don't care what anybody has to say. Okay. But if they don't want AA, you bet I'm going to find something else that's, there's other things out there. Because AA is not the only way. That'd be silly. That would be silly. Okay. But that doesn't mean that there's a bunch of, okay. Okay. So you saw that. Okay. So the steps were the same. Okay. Now, I do agree that, we can't agree on one thing, that having a higher power is usually the best way. No, let's remove all 12 steps and recovery. What are we all? Well, we're all children of God. Okay. But I feel like when we're saying an all recovery meeting, it means that I'm going to be able to help you out no matter what. And that is not always true. That's not always true. I may not be able to help you. Okay. But in my situation, I know somebody that can help you and I'm going to lead you to them. But they aren't doing that. They're keeping them because they think they're the alpha omega. Right. And I'm talking about staying in a pathway. Staying in a pathway. And I think the big question is, how are they supporting themselves? All right. Ouch. Ouch. That's your perspective. What if I have a person that is atheist or agnostic? Then I'm probably going to send them to Smart Recovery. I believe I just said, if I can't help, I'm going to find you. Or if AA isn't your way, then I'm going to help you find your way. Huh. I also don't charge money. you know. And of course they deserve to be sober too. I think you're pretty reactive with me sometimes, Lori, um, because you want to fight with me. You haven't been doing this as long as me, and you're very reactive with me. And to come on here and tell me that I am not an effective coach, man, um, that tells me where I stand with you then. Yeah. I never said I was a coach. I'm just here trying to help. And, well, you said it, man. You just told me I wasn't an effective coach, but at least you're being honest with me. But you didn't listen to everything that I said. And that's the problem with most of you people. You don't listen to everything. You want to come in here and pick apart what it is that I'm doing, then support. And I know you're not trying to do that with me, Lori. Okay. But to come along and tell me I'm not an effective coach is bullshit. And you know that. And that hurt. Okay. And we'll leave it at that because I love you. You're like a sister to me. That doesn't mean it's gonna end anything, that's for sure. Nope, I don't work that way, honey. But I will, after this, I will tell you, I will take a look at that. I will still do that. Hey, Mandy. Your points, Lori, I love your points. I'm going to tell you something. I wouldn't have been able to move on from being the poster child of PTSD if it wasn't for Lori. Okay? So the only reason the only reason it hurt is because I love her. Because I respect her. We respect each other. So just because we're going back and forth doesn't mean, okay, we're just working it out. Okay. And what she's saying is, that would be kind of closed-minded. And I agree with that. I agree with that. What I'm trying to avoid is, and that's why we're having these conversations, because I cannot sit here and say every all recovery meeting is bullshit. I'm just trying to figure this out. So, so it comes down to, as long as the meeting itself understands, and there it is. That's it. Yeah. Because doesn't God talk through his children? Yes, he does. If people are running it for the right reasons. And that's something Lori and I can always agree on. If it's being done for the right reasons, we're going to back it up. We're going to back it up. But how are we going to grow if we don't argue a little bit? If we don't say, hey, because she wasn't saying, Dion, you're not being an effective coach. She was saying, then you wouldn't be an effective coach. Okay. I got it. Thank you, Lori. I know I can get a little, but I like to figure these things out because I'd like to utilize them. If there are some good all recovery groups and they're run right, then I'd like to have some of the church. I've asked, yeah, that's it. And remain friends. Remain friends. Lori and I disagree on a few things, but we do agree that it's about meeting the person where they're at and supplying the right need. That's what it's about. So that means my resources need to be bar none, because that's what I'm going to use. I'm not the resource. I'm the person that will lead you to the right resource. Right? So if all recovery meeting, as long as they're not asking for your Medicaid number, then hallelujah, I'm wrong. And in this case, I kind of want to be wrong. I want to be wrong about sober livings. I want to be wrong about recovery coaching. I want to be wrong about it all, because it would be a huge relief for me. So I'm asking questions and people are letting me know, But the thing is, if I didn't have people in my life that weren't willing to say things like that to me, I'd be drunk. I'd be drunk, man. I need people that come along and go, 2x4, motherfucker. Okay? Because I need to listen to reason sometimes. Sometimes my PTSD will catch up with me, right? Yeah. Yeah. That's what we're going for. And congratulations on your new job. I am so fucking proud of you. I know we argue, but we're you know what? It's unconditional love. That's it. You know. So I guess we can all agree on that then. That when the intentions are right, all recovery meetings are good. I might even go check some out now. You know, let's talk about some of the other pathways real quick. And if I'm missing some, please post them. Okay, because I don't know them all. Which hybrid group? Let me know and I'll go, especially if you're going to be there. So we have all recovery meetings. That'll work. And I'll join hybrid first. I see what you're saying, Lori. Lori's saying, Dion, go Zoom first because I know you're most comfortable meeting me where I'm at and supplying me with a need. She's doing exactly what we were just talking about. There's Celebrate Recovery. Great group. It's a little more unstructured. There's more crosstalk. There's check-ins, things like that. But it is very healing. What's great about Celebrate Recovery is the support that comes from all of it. Okay. There's Smart Recovery, which is a more for the logical, atheist, agnostic type of person. There are AA meetings that are atheist agnostic also. You know? So you have Smart Recovery. There's Wellbriety. Wellbriety is a fantastic program. Of course, now I'm forgetting everything. I'm sure there's more. So there's absolutely more. But what we cannot have is and this is where I'm trying to get out of, and so I'm trying to understand more, where we can't talk crap about other groups, no matter what they are, because they work. They do. There's some great programs out there that work. I find and this is personal, I find the freely given, freely give is what's right for me. Lori is in more, well, here we go, right here. She's more into the holistic therapy and art and health, more of that, right? And that's really good because what that does is it brings more fellowship. Okay. And they're keeping you busy. Art keeps you busy. It distracts your brain. And what's great about holistic and art therapy is the meditation that comes with it. There's a meditation that goes with it. So when you're done, you feel more free. You feel more like you, and you get to be. And what's neat is you get to go to these places and be who you are. And I would say the holistic therapy and art therapy and anything health and wellness is more of a safe space than AA would be. Absolutely. If you're looking for more of a safe space and that kind of healing, then that's the route that you're going to want to go. Absolutely. AA is my thing, but it's not the only way. So I try and teach on AA, and I stay in that realm. That's why I got out of fentanyl and drugs, because I felt like I was hurting more than I was helping, and I do not want to give bad information. I don't. So, Well, now we know. Now we know, man. So this was a great discussion. This turned out really well. Um, I would like to say before I go that smart recovery did I bring that? I did. Smart recovery is awesome. I know a lot of people from smart recovery, and we don't, yeah, and the higher power number, but it's still helping people. It's service work. It still works. Okay, because AA is just cognitive behavioral therapy. It's just CBT. That's it. But you can improve. You can improve by checking out these other ones. So, I've never been to a smart recovery meeting, so I think I'm going to challenge myself this week or in the next few weeks here, because this week's over, to check out an all recovery meeting, and I'm going to check out a smart recovery meeting, just so I can be a little bit more knowledgeable. Yeah. See, growth. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I love you. I love you. Peace out and have a day.